What's going on, agents? Your boy Sly here, and guys, it feels great to finally be able to talk about something new in the Division. Now, in case you haven't heard, there was a special report today, which is November 11th, and by the way, happy N7 Day, guys. I'll have vids about that later today as well, but in regards to the Division, the special report was a complete surprise, and with it, Update 1.5 as well as the new DLC Survivor will be available today on the public test server. Now take a listen to this.
There are two things we want to talk to you guys about. Survival is coming, and it's coming to the PTS
this
today.
afternoon. Yeah. So again,
all right.
We don't know exactly when that's going to get the thumbs up, but it's going to be a few hours away.
Now, if that isn't a surprise, guys, then I don't know what would be. Now, of course, there are a lot of buts with that, and a lot of you have questions. So I wanted to make a video explaining everything going on, who can play, what you can play, and when you can play, along with what you guys can expect. So sit back, relax, and let's do the damn thing, y'all. Now, like I said, it's awesome to be able to finally get some new stuff to talk about. Now, don't get me wrong, 1.4 was a major step in the right direction, but it was pretty much the same stuff we played for the past year. And while the game felt completely different, the setting and objectives, not so much. And it got old pretty fast. Now, apparently Massive has taken notice and the initiative to open up a second wave on the public test server and allow not only Update 1.5 on the server, but Survivor as well. So for those of you out there who are a little confused at the issue, I want to try and help break all of this down. So to start, Update 1.5 is different than Survivor. Now, Survivor is actually 1.6, but they will be releasing around the same time. Now, if some of you out there remember what happened with the Underground DLC, there were two updates. One update that brought like new gear set, a bunch of bug fixes, a higher Dark Zone bracket, as well as a boosting gear score that was available to all players on every platform for free. It was available on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. However, the actual Underground DLC itself was only available to PC and Xbox for the first month as an exclusive. Now, this will also apply for Update 1.5 and then Survival. Everybody in the game will get Update 1.5. That'll be PC, Xbox, and PS4. They will all see some new gear, new brackets along with a new world tier, and some other bug fixes and maintenance. However, Survival itself will be exclusive to PC and Xbox for the first month. But what's going on right now is something you can pretty much call a beta. It's a public test server for PC only. And if you have the season pass and you have a PC, you can try out Update 1.5 as well as Survival. However, if you don't own the season pass, you can only try out Update 1.5 for the time being. So it'll be a lot of new stuff, but not the actual activity Survival. And that's what Survival really is, guys. Survival DLC is pretty much a new activity. Now, like I said earlier, this is only available on PC at this current time. Consoles are a bunch of different companies, and each download has to be approved by a stupid amount of companies and agencies. In the world of PC, things are a little bit simpler. But consoles have to get pre-approved for even the slightest download, and if one thing goes wrong, then it has to do all the processes all over again. So this is why the PTS is taking so long to arrive on consoles. As a console player myself, guys, it sucks, but that's how it goes. Now, officially, there is still no word when the release date for Survival and Update 1.5 will be officially dropped. If you want to get a good handle on what to expect, definitely check out the special report that went live this morning, which is Monday morning. It's a great start to get your head around everything that's going to happen. Alright guys, so let's get into the meat of it. What is Update 1.5 and what is Survival? Well, 1.5 is the patch that will update all platforms to the newest update. Weapons, gear, quality of life, the new world tier 5, and I'm sure a boatload more. Survival, however, is a separate beast, and that is a single activity. So for Survival, the starting premise is that the Division is sending in agents to extract antivirals from hidden caches within the Dark Zone. Now, it's supposed to be a smash and grab opportunity, but you only have a pistol, some hazmat gear, and you were originally supposed to drop in, pick up the contaminated supplies, and then fly out mission over. However, as you guys all know, Division agents and flying machines always end in disaster. A winter storm crashes your helicopter and you are left to fend for yourself. So you start out in a very low gear score. You have all green armor, as in green common armor, not green gear sets. After that, you have one single pistol. That's it. Now you are in a fight for your life while still trying to complete the mission. There are several things that are completely new to the Division. First off, we get to use the Dark Zone as a PvE space while still being in multiplayer. 25 agents will connect into a single map. Now you can choose to enter this space in a PvE setting only, or you could have PvP enabled. What's cool about this is that if you don't want to deal with, all the assholes ganging up on you and then stealing your stuff, you don't have to deal with it. You can just load into a PvP disabled game. What's awesome here is that everyone starts out the same. No matter what your normal gear score was before, in this survival activity, everyone starts out with the same gear, the same sidearm, the same stats. Now it's important to remember that outside of this survival activity, all your stuff will still be there. All your levels, your weapons, your currency, everything. It's just that inside survival, you will always start at ground zero. Now think of this as pretty much like a challenge incursion in a way. You get stripped of everything, and you need to re-gear up as you go. So on top of being stripped of all your weapons and armor, you now have to battle the elements. The Division has always had a complex system in the background, like clothing, food, water, first aid. All of this now matters. The clothes you crashed in are too thin, and you need to find better clothing to fight the cold weather. Different pieces of clothing will end up having better insulation, allowing you to stay outside longer, and being outside longer means you can find more stuff. But until then, you have to hop from fire to fire or building to building in order to stay alive. On top of that, you will also get hungry and thirsty, so eating and drinking will be yet another obstacle you're going to have to overcome. If that wasn't enough, since you don't have your hazmat suit anymore, you constantly get sick. You also only have 2 hours to complete this mission before the weather and the sickness ends up killing you. Once you die, guys, it's just like the original incursions, it's game over, back to the start. Like you guys can see right here, there's a timer that slowly ticks down to 0. Using meds will stop the clock, and medication will also cure infections that you will be constantly battling throughout the missions. The more you search, the better the gear and the warmer the clothing you will end up finding. Now since you literally start out with pretty much nothing, you need to search apartments and gather equipment to craft stuff that you would normally take for granted in this game. All of your skills will be taken away, and you'll need to craft them at hideouts scattered throughout the Dark Zone. Now once you have enough resources, you return to a hideout, craft what you need, and then continue on with your survival. Even as something as mundane as a flare gun to signal for an extraction, that will need to be crafted. The faster you complete your mission, the more stuff you find and craft, the less you get down, the better your rewards in the end will be. Those rewards can then be used with your normal loadout in the game, outside of survival. So you'll find hidden caches all over the map, and they also drop from enemies. Bosses will roam the map, as well as a new type of enemy that is super powerful. The more loot you extract, also the better your rewards in the end. And after you craft a flare gun, you aren't just extracting the mission critical antivirals, you're also extracting your loot and yourself as well. Now the neat aspect here, once again guys, is the human factor. In PvE modes, you can help take down bosses and enemies, but they only drop one thing that everybody can see. So all 25 players in that map will see that, for instance, a named boss just dropped a sealed cache. Do you let the player who killed the boss grab the cache, or do you run up and steal it? Now if you steal it, what if you're in trouble a few blocks away and you see the other guy right behind you and you need to heal or revive? Not after you just stole that guy's loot, man. He's just going to leave you there to die. So there are a lot of factors here. Now, everything in the map can be seen by all 25 players. However, not all 25 players will be right next to each other. There's tons of things to do all over the map. So people will spread out and probably get into their own little groups. Now, unlike the DZ where everyone can benefit from a chest or a boss drop, only one thing drops in the map, and whoever grabs it ends up getting it. Of course, in PvP-enabled survival, you can kill the agent and then take his loot. But towards the end of it, you're going to need their help because extraction is going to be no joke. So the less agents you have at the end, the less likely you're going to be able to leave. So that's something you're going to have to keep in mind. It sounds like a challenging and awesome experiment of the human condition. With the new changes of 1.4, along with whatever comes up in 1.5 and survival, I think this is just what the Division needs to get its player base back up and happy again. It's been a tough road for the new gaming studio, but it's bringing in a breath of fresh air in not only the way it handles its problems, but in the way this game moves forward. I'm excited to see the new weapons of this update and all the new surprises along the way. But that's about it, agents. I just wanted to kind of separate what's what right now and also lay down what Survivor is really all about. Now, of course, I'll have more in-depth stuff later on, but I was getting a lot of questions about the differences between 1.5 and Survivor, as well as what's happening right now on the PTS. So, hope this answered a few of them, and if you have any other questions out there, feel free to lay them down in the comments below. Guys, I feel like this is a good step in the right direction. Something different, something new, while keeping the apocalyptic shooter feel to it. But that's all I got, guys. Always a pleasure, and as always, if you want to keep up to speed on everything The Division, Destiny, and here soon, Mass Effect Andromeda, follow me on Twitter at SlyNation, or join the nation here on YouTube. I would absolutely love to have you. Thanks for watching, and until next time, agents, this is your boy Sly. Later, guys.
Ammo inbound. Zone B secure.